Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker. And as this House reflects on the measures we must take to protect our nation, it is essential, as others have already done, that we remember the tragedy of the 22nd of May 2017, when the Manchester Arena bombing claimed 22 lives in a shocking act of terror. Now, those of us who are from Greater Manchester all know someone who was there that night, whether they were watching the concert, picking up their daughters, or responding as a member of our emergency services. And among the 22 who were lost that night was Martyn, a young man from Stockport, full of life, boundless energy, and a personality that lit up every room he entered. Martyn was 29 years old, and for anyone who knew him, as many of my constituents from Hazel Grove did, he was a symbol of joy and creativity. His love for life, humour, and a unique way of connecting with people left a lasting impression on so many Stopfordians. Martyn's mum, Figan, endured a loss no parent should ever have to face. However, Figan's response to this unimaginable pain has been one of remarkable strength and resolve. She's become a tireless advocate for change and an inspiration to all of us. And in memory of her son, Figan has led the campaign for Martyn's Law. Her efforts have not gone unnoticed, and over the years, Figan has worked with policymakers, security experts, and communities to push for these changes, with the goal of ensuring that no other family has to experience what she and her family have had to. Her determination has turned a personal tragedy into a powerful force for good. She's taken her message to government of different shades and public forums and to schools, reminding us of the urgent need for better safety measures in public spaces, and Martyn's Law is a testament to her courage. Madam Deputy Speaker, I must also pay tribute to the people of Greater Manchester. It was Greater Manchester who came together in an extraordinary display of solidarity and resilience and compassion. And in the immediate aftermath of the attack, our city region stood tall. Taxi drivers offered free rides to those stranded. Residents opened their homes to concert goers in need, and local businesses provided food and shelter to strangers. Greater Manchester is a city region known for its gumption and its strength, and that night we showed the world what true unity looks like. In the days that followed, St Anne's Square became a place of mourning, of reflection and of community, and thousands of people gathered there to pay tribute to the victims, to light candles and to lay flowers, as well as across the region. I remember gathering in Romiley Precinct because it was important to be with our neighbours and to feel part of our community. It was not just a moment of mourning, it was a really powerful statement that our city region would not be broken by terror. The Mancunian way speaks to that enduring spirit, a refusal to be defined by fear, but by our unity and our resolve. And it was evident in the tireless work of the emergency services who responded with bravery and professionalism on that terrible night. And it was seen in the action of the countless volunteers who came forward offering what they could to help. This attack sought to sow fear and division, but it only brought us closer together and reminded us all of what truly makes Greater Manchester great, its people. Madam Deputy Speaker, as we consider the legislation before us today, we must remember the 22 lives lost and the families forever changed, as well as the resilience of the people of Greater Manchester. We must honour the memory of Martyn and the work of Figan, who's campaigned for Martyn's Law. It's not just a call for better security, but a testament to the power of love and community in the face of terror. Madam Deputy Speaker, this legislation is intended to ensure that businesses and organisations are better prepared to deal with and respond to terror-related threats. The tragic arena attack exposed deficiencies in the security of public venues, and this legislation aims to address those gaps by imposing a legal duty on owners and the operators of public venues to assess the risk of terror-related security threats and to implement proportionate security measures. Attention should be drawn to the party responsible for complying with the regulations set out in the bill. It's the owner, the operator or the leaseholder of the venue. And this bill applies to any premises that at times will host 200 or more people, ranging from nightclubs and sports grounds to leisure centres, schools and universities. And a key distinction should be made and is made between the three categories to which the bill applies: enhanced duty premises, which may expect 800 attendees from time to time; qualifying events, any event that will have public access and may host 800 or more; and standard duty premises, which may host at least 200 people at times. Madam Deputy Speaker, I welcome the new threshold for standard duty premises of 200 individuals. This largely addresses the concerns raised by action with communities in rural England and will reduce the burden on the organisers and operators of the thousands of community-run venues, such as village halls, community halls and church halls. And they might be being used for community groups, exercise classes and weddings in rural areas, where the terrorist threat is usually low. However, Madam Deputy Speaker, some concerns remain. The bill grants the Home Secretary the power to lower the 200-person threshold to 100, and such a change should require a strong, specific justification related to a clear and widespread threat. And in such cases, less burdensome alternatives, like increased police engagement with smaller venues, should be considered. We urge the Government to carefully examine whether the benefits of the bill are proportional to the potential costs for smaller venues and their operators. And further, the bill contains little scope to train venue operators in their new responsibilities and leaves them preparing the required procedures with, in our view, not enough support. The Government will need to address this for such legislation to be its most effective. Madam Deputy Speaker, at this stage, the Liberal Democrats support Martyn's law and look forward to further constructive scrutiny as it progresses through Parliament. Martyn's law represents a step forwards in ensuring the safety of our public spaces. The devastating attack at the arena in 2017 serves as a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities that exist and the heavy price we pay when they are exploited. We owe it to the victims and their families and to every citizen to learn from that tragedy, to take measures to prevent it from happening again. By strengthening the security of our venues and enhancing our preparedness, we honour the memory of all of those lost, and we demonstrate our commitment to protecting the public from such senseless acts of terror.